Okay.
So he can go in.
Pretty good. A lot more.
Are you from LA or?
I am actually like 7 minutes away.
Oh.
So.
I didn't catch everything. What's your experience, LeMay? Your background?
I kickstarted playing Arena.
Okay.
Like it's such a good way for me to book. The last time I started teaching, they gave me a bunch of cards, and I was like, "What am I?" Yeah, I really saw the big packs. Oh, the card sleeves on Arena are all cards. So alright.
Good news, great, fun. So again, so you'll just play. You preset to open your hands and when the speed thing is up. So you can look at it. This opening hand for the crowd. You've already got your summer slide. There was a quite easy box. These are those decks. So that's all right. That's all right. So you have a cloud deck. I'll be playing the Sephiroth deck. If you want, you're happy. You're welcome to play your hand up, and we'll talk through this. So you know what
That'd be great because he's still pretty much without the thing to tell me, "Hey, you should probably play this one." I'm pretty lost. So,
Okay. So yeah. So you already started playing, but this isn't officially. We're both at one of the we're gonna battle against each other. I'll walk with your other stuff. Any questions? No problem. Well, yeah. So since you're going first, if you don't talk, also one of those learning through Arena is interesting. There's a lot of little nuanced actions and things that you do that Arena does for you, which is wonderful. But when you transition to paper, you're like, oh, I keep forgetting to do this. That is perfectly normal. Do not worry. So we're gonna lay our hand out on you, right end up, and we'll have you view. Yeah, so we can see what your next. So because you go first, you do not draw on your first turn. After this, you'll draw every single turn that I've referred to. So first thing we'll do is we can choose one of the lands, either a plains or the mountain over here, and put that out. So the lands, as you know, are sort of like banks. Like the way I think of them is they're a little bank account. When the card's straight up, there's a dollar. When it's turned sideways, there's no money. But every time it's pay it comes back and untaps it. It's a use it again. So you've only got one land. There's nothing you can do this turn, so you're done. It's my turn. I'm gonna draw a card. I'll play an island. I also can't have anything with it. We're gonna look at the art. So Magic has 5 colors: white, blue, black, red, and blue. You're playing a white red deck. I'm playing a blue black deck. And so the lands are what give us those different colors of mana. So actually, during my turn, what we'll do is we'll draw a new card, and this turn I'll help illustrate what they have. So go ahead and play one of those planes out here for us. You get to play one land a turn. So anytime you have a land in your hand, generally you want to put it out so that you have access to it. Like you said, you're getting more bank cards, you're getting more resources. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to have you play your first creature. You have the item shop with here. So this, well, the red and the 1. So you think of these as additive. So this card costs 2, of which 1 must be red and 1 can be anything. This card costs 5, and 1 must be white, or other. Three and 1. Yes. So when laid out on these sideways, we're going to withdraw from the bank. So what happens is you're like, okay, I need a white mana and a red mana, and then you spin both of them to play it. So this is a creature. We're generals on the battlefield. That we're not going to get into creatures and fight ourselves. We're going to send you the land that for us. So this creature has 2 power at first number and 2 toughness. So what that means is that if you were to attack me and I didn't have anything that could do, I would just take 2, go from 20 down to 18. Of course, we don't want to. The goal is to not be the one doing it. There's another ability here which we'll talk about next turn, but basically this is one of those people who's going to fight for. Okay, so they just came out. They can't do anything this turn, so he's just got to hang around. It's next to my attack. So I'm going to draw another card. I will lay out a swamp. I will also play a region. Play a Sahagin. Are you a big fan of base at the end? I'm not a big one on. It's totally okay. Judging what level of you go into on a higher fantasy spin aside. So this is a creature possibly 2. 1 must be blue, 1 of anything. It has 1 power and 3 toughness. And then it also has a millie, but I'll build that when it comes up in the game. The thing to know is, like, if these 2 were to get melt, so I'm only getting 1. it can take 3. So these creatures actually would bounce off each other.
Wait, if I with 2, have more life.
Well, so I have 3 toughness, but I'm only dealing 1 point of damage then. So while I can take your
I see. Okay, right. Yeah.
So if he comes out, he sticks around, I can't do anything with him. We're gonna go back to your turn there. So first thing we'll do, roll the mana accounts, untap them. But drawing your card. Either amount there. There's no real difference for you right now. Whichever your soul feels happy you're doing. So now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna play this Katana. So it costs 3, as we said. Let's tap those 3 down. So the Katana is not a creature. You know it doesn't have power and toughness in the corner. Also, if you're on the middle line, it says creature. This one says artifact. So artifacts and magic, everything we're doing right now we call permanents. That part that come out and stick around until something makes them go away. An artifact is like it sounds like king, does a thing. There's a whole wide variety for what artifacts can be in. And it features one of the new mechanics from the Final Fantasy set, which is job select. So Final Fantasy.
Oh my god, yes. I played 14. That's really fun.
Perfect.
Okay.
And so what it means is anyone who carries this katana, they selected the job samurai. So what it does is it does give you its own creature.
Wait, okay, see, I played 14, so okay, cool.
So what this means is that this is normally just a 1/1 creature. This is a what we call totem. It's just a increase of the game has created that wasn't in your. So it's a creature just like this one. It's only got 1 power and toughness, except it is currently holding the katana. So while it is normally a 1/1, the katana says, "Hey, whoever's holding has +2/+2." So this is now, and whoever's in a katana has what they call trample and haste. Trample's not important now. I'll bring it up later. But haste is important because it means you can use it to turn it in out. Whereas you had to wait last turn. This guy wasn't ready to here. This one's right on go. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually attack me just for the first time. So when you get into combat, people are other CCGs. Okay. So one point distinction with us from that, you are always attacking. You aren't attacking my creatures. Right. So you're always saying, "No, now trick. I'm going to do my samurai." Now normally, I got the option to block, and so it's my choice to fit Iron Home. If I did, your Thuku would kill my. But also, I don't even have this option because of the shot. So the shot says whenever you attack, so this guy's attacking, target attacking a equipped creature. So this is an attacking creature that is equipped. These mimics. So you see that little italicized stuff tells you what mimics does, which means I need 2 just to be
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
Okay.
So I can't even block. You just say we're going to go from 20 down to 17.
Wow. That's really strong.
It's really cool. We're only getting started. Okay. That all makes sense. Do you want to back up?
That makes sense. Yeah. I actually, the color palette is on Arena, so I'm not the one for that. Get those more colors.
Right. Yeah.
So I just. It's perfect.
Great. All right. So that's all you can do per turn. You got all your lands tapped. It's now my turn. None tapped. I'll play another island. What I'll do is I'll play a Shambling Sea. So it costs me 3 net, a black and 2 and an 8. It has 3 power and crinkle. It's as strong as this guy. But when it creature enters, tapped. So I can't use it. So one of the important things to know is that tapped creatures can't already tap. Just like with the laners, we're showing that they're currently 0 resource. They can't do it. The reason that it does that is because it also has another ability. It says when it's in my graveyard there, so when it's going to kill, there's a possibility for me to bring it back. So it could keep coming back. So one of the ways to balance and not take it over the coward is to get a little slower, so it's another whole turn before I can even belong with it. But it is out, it's just chilling. The downside for me is that means I still can't block this guy next turn for a take. So we'll see what happens, but that's where we are in. I could choose to attack you, but as you said, these 2 creatures just bounce off of each other. And then I would end up also tap here and even more defenses. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to need this guy's in. And now say, it's actually your turn. So we're going to untap those done. You could choose not to. Right. There's no downside, especially when I taps. And there's no possibility of doing anything extra or surprising you. There's no reason you pay, you block. All right, so you untap. Let's draw a new card.
Oh, so cute. I got a dark color. Ooh, okay. So I would get it. He died.
Right. Well, so you don't have to play any yet. No, it's okay. You don't want to play either a planes or a mountain. Again, no real difference from your theme perspective right there. So you actually get two options this turn. You have it. Well, that's 5. That's next turn. This is normally 5, but that first line in text accent tells you if this usually gets a tapped card, it's 2 less than buttons. So it would only be 3. This is a creature that you can destroy, and like I said, but the other side of it might come down. And the other thing to consider is like you have cloud in hand, so you have a better sense of like, oh, there's still more powerful things on the sticks. Maybe you don't need to use that on this yet. Maybe you do just guess the blood and not. That's right.
Target knob.
So that just means anything that's not a. So if I had the katana, either of these, or if I had like the katana, you could destroy the katana. Or there's some other card types. Yeah. So anything that's not a land, that's on the map, you could destroy. So that's why it's probably better for you to hold on to that one, see how the game goes. But it is an option.
Okay. So just one must be right. So now who destroys the body is going to hang out.
So now you should at least attack me with this guy. And like I said, you can attack me with this guy, but then in that situation where widely, that's not been efficient. That's E14. That's all you can do for your attorney, so we're going to go back to narration.
Maybe like.
A swamp is a different piece of market. See? And then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pay 4. So now I'm going to play what's called an instance. So everything we've done up to now have been permanents. Instance and sorceries are not permanents. So like this is an instance. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kill your shopkeep, destroy dark creature, and I get to gain 2 life back. So I could kill the hero carrying the katana. But the reason I'm doing this is because I can deal with this guy as long as I can block her. But this is what makes it so I can't block that guy. So I'm going to prioritize getting rid of your shopkeep. So this will go to your graveyard, this will go to my graveyard. Face up, usually like under your library, whatever, just somewhere that's not going to be confused of what's actually in play. Now, the other thing that happens here, now it's Higgins' ability comes relevant. Whenever I cast a non-creature spell, so I cast an instant, or if I were to cast an artifact or something else, and I spend at least 4 mana, which I did, back in 3, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and quickly block for the rest of this turn. So where it was a 1 target, it's now a 2 pull-up. And so since you can't block it, I'm going to attack you with it. So instead, you're going to go down to 18. Okay, so that's my turn. I will send it back to you. So let's untap what you have tapped. Yep. Draw a new card. Yeah. Right. So sorceries and instants are both non-permanent spells. The difference is the timing of when you do them. Sorceries can only be done on your turn when nothing else is going on and we're not in combat. Instants can be done anytime. I could have cast this on your turn. You could have been attacking me, and I could have filled it to surprise you, but I wanted to the big fear of being able to attack, hit you for some damage on my turn. So, have a suplex. You also have this, and you have your 5th land that you can play. So now you can play any card in your hand.
So would it be better for me to get rid of?
You could, but again, yeah, it's not like so. You want there's a saying in Magic which is life is a resource. So you don't have to be scared to lose life until it's the end of it. So while I poked you for 2, like Cloud is a super powerful card, and it's one of those cards that I can't deal with. It's going to very quickly through its games.
It's indestructible.
It will be eventually. So you could deal with this, but I think it's probably better for you going to play Cloud this turn.
He has a large text.
Yep, we're going to talk about him. Don't worry.
So that would be like everything.
That's right, yeah. So Cloud is, first off, he's a legendary creature. Everything else we played is non-legendary. You can think of that as the A versus the. This is A Dwarven Castle Guard. This is A Hero. This is the Cloud Planets A. Game-wise, that means that if you were to have multiple Cloud Planets Sharpens in your hand, you could only have one and play at a time.
Oh, okay.
But you could have multiple Dwarven Castle Guards or multiple heroes. Secondly, this means that you might have heard from friends or whatever about Commander from Magic. Yes. So legends are the commander. You pick a legend to be the commander of your deck.
Oh, okay.
So you can tell it's a legend because it says legend here on the bar, and also this little header that we put on there. So he has 4 power and 4 toughness. He's already the strongest card on the battlefield. And then what he says is during your turn. Actually, let me go to the second one first. We talked about equipment. As you may, I know you're not a huge Final Fantasy, but you all know Cloud and Sephiroth. Cloud wants a sword. And so he says, I want it to be easier for people to give him a sword. So this one came with its own guy holding it. But you can move the katana to other cards. The hero would stick around, he'd just be a 1/1 knife. So this last line, equip 5, that means that it costs you 5 mana to have someone else take the katana.
So I wouldn't be able to.
Not this turn, but like next turn. In fact, Cloud wants the sword so bad, he goes, it only costs you 3 to give me the sword. Because he says it costs 2 less to activate. And if he gives a sword, that's when he gains what we call double strike and indestructible during your turn.
It's so confusing. You said Sibelius. Oh, equipped. This. Exactly. That's equipped. Okay, I thought it said like this.
Yeah. Nope, you're good. You got it. Perfect. All right, so come back to me. My turn. So I'm going to play Shinra Reinforced Beast. It's a creature, costs me 3, has 2 power and 3 toughness. Yep. And I will mill 3 cards. This means to take the cards from my library and put them directly into my graveyard. This, I will go back to 17. And I will not attack. Obviously, you have a 4/4, and I will say, go ahead. So you get to untap. Perfect. Yeah, so this is an example. Whereas these only produce one of or other colors, this can be used to produce either color should you need it. And right. So like imagine you had a card that needed 3 of these reds. With that, you could pay for it. Or if you had a card for some, or had 2 cards that totally 4 whites, you could use that to pay for a white. So it gives you that flexibility. The downside is that you can't use it until the turn after you play. Right. But you can still lay it out as a land this turn. There's no downside to that.
And then this is
Yes, step in. So go and pay the 5. So pay 3 here. So it's no, yeah, whichever you want. It doesn't make a difference.
Oh, it doesn't.
You're not paying this cost. You're paying 5 here minus 2.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Okay. So now we have Cloud, who is a 6/6, and is like, put me in, coach. Let's do this. Now, I have on total, if I were to block with every creature I have, 2, 5, 7, which is not going to be enough to kill Cloud. So you should absolutely attack him with a Cloud.
Okay, I will. So then you choose to block with everything.
Well, we haven't decided yet.
Okay.
So you do have the option to also attack with these other, well, either or both of these other two if you wanted. And you are now in the aggressor seat. You're like, I have my big boss. We're gonna start playing, trying to. All right. If people play poker, I'm like, you're the big stack on the table. Like you're trying to push the momentum of this game. So the considerations are, you're right. I don't necessarily have to put everyone in front of Cloud. I could prioritize getting rid of these small guys just to get them out of the way, or I might be. I'm at 17. I don't want to take 12, so I'm gonna probably block with something. It's just sort of figuring out what you think would make up the strategic cities.
Probably use this
Okay.
because I get this one back.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will block the dwarf with that one, and I will block Cloud with both of these. All right, so now that's how. So when you attack a magic, you declare all attackers, you declare all blockers, and in between each of these steps, if one of us had an instant we wanted to play, we could. Neither of us do. So then we go into damage. So Cloud's first strike portion is going to happen first. So you're going to kill both of these before they have a chance to get a hit off against Cloud. They're going to absorb all 6 of those corners. And they go to the graveyard. Now we deal the normal set of deals. So I'm going to deal 2 here. You're going to deal 2 here. Then you're going to deal 6 to me. So that one will die. You get a new hero. Mine survives, and I take 6 and go down to 11. Make sense? Okay. So that was your turn. You could, if you wanted, after combat, use suplex.
Oh.
So it's a sorcery, so you couldn't do it in combat. But it is only 2 mana, and you do have an opportunity during your time to do it. So this has 2 points of damage on it. You could choose to use the first ability of suplex to deal 3 damage to target creatures. You don't have to. Again.
You also use this against you.
So it's because it specifies it goes against the creature. You can.
Oh, okay.
There are cards that are like, deal 3 damage to any target. In that case, you could deal it to me.
Yeah. Okay.
But that one is limited in where it deals.
Would you suggest me using that now, or should I save?
I would suggest using it now because you are in a very aggressive position. Your goal is to keep the pressure on, prevent me from having as much opportunity as you can for me to make some sort of comeback play. Now, I want to be clear. I'm doing my best to teach you and be fair, but I do have perfect knowledge, so I have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always worry. I'm like, hey, he told me to do this, and then you did this other thing. It was. So,
Yeah. So when it doesn't.
I guess I have the teammate.
you do, yes.
So all of this parts here, I did this wrong.
Once a creature's on the battlefield, to attack with it doesn't require mana.
Okay.
There might sometimes on creatures be abilities that require mana, but those are different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so this will go to my graveyard and tap those.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Tom. Nice to meet you.
All right. My turn. Let's see what happens. I'll play a small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend all 6 of my minions. And this is the part of the game when the soundtrack changes. And there's a little more bass, a little more drums, a little more intensity. Because I'm going to bring my Sephiroth to the table. So my Sephiroth costs me 6 mana. Is a legendary. Has vigilance, which I'll talk about in a moment. But what's more important is it says when Sephiroth enters, all of your creatures for this turn get -2/-2. So I'm gonna get rid of both of these minor heroes off to the side. They're dead. And Sephiroth says whenever a creature you control dies, he gets picked. So he goes from a 4/4 to a 6/6. Now, Cloud is still a monster.
Yeah.
Cloud is still already dealing 6 damage during first strike. So you're like, okay, that's pretty awesome. But I've got Cloud here. Like, you understand that, right? So we'll see how things go. But, you know, we got the two baddies, the two big heroes, depending on which side you're on. And so I can't attack, he just came out, so I'll pass it back to you and say your sorceries. You get to untap and draw.
Oh, they really made these cards. Well, you guys really made these cards strong. They should be censored. Okay, so I got another land. So
Okay.
That was cute.
Yep. So you actually just win. I'll give you a second to see if you figure out how.
Yeah, because this.
It's like get the logical.
Wait, but it's not a tap.
But it actually needs to cost you a good price.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Oh my God, you're right. And I have the 4.
You have the 5, yeah.
Oh, right, 5.
Yeah, do it. Absolutely. You do that, you fill Sephiroth.
This is fun.
As that goes to very good also. I have no creatures. I'm only at 11 life. Cloud attacks and deals me 12.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. You guys have really set up the cards very nicely for this.
Well, we only did the first couple of turns. The rest was just
Really?
the jaws.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now let's continue another turn or so from the grave, just to give you some more fun and see how things would go. So I'm currently at -1. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna untap. I'm gonna draw, and I'll play an island. And this will be again that moment where the music, the in-boss's life goes doo-doo-doo, and I'm gonna pay 5 because I'm gonna play Evil Reawakens. Sephiroth is back. And he's still gonna die immediately to Cloud, but at least to get this moment, dramatic reveal. And then I'm gonna bring out another creature because that's what I drew, which is a pixie. 2 power T, 1 toughness, has flying. So all our creatures up to now have been running on the ground. Flying means I'm over here. So Cloud that used Adam on defense can't block the pixie. The pixie could block Cloud. But like I said, it's too little too late. I can't do anything about it. But I just wanted to have that dramatic moment of Sephiroth returns. So well, he's blue-black. Yeah, in these versions, they also these are special cards for the starter kit, which, like I said, you got in the bag. There are also versions of them in both the commander deck and also. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Cloud is in the commander deck. I don't think Sephiroth's in the commander deck, but they're also in the main set with different versions. So in the main set, Cloud is mono white, and Sephiroth is mono black. Only white card, only black card.